Guys, welcome to my channel. This is Molly, where we talk about everything that is spirituality, personal development, overcoming your emotional trauma, relationships. And so if any of that tickles your pickle, strikes your fancy, is up your alley, all of that, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And today I wanted to talk about a little bit of a reflection I'm doing for those of you who are dating or in relationships, evaluating whether or not it's healthy for you. Perhaps you're dating somebody new or somebody who's been there for a while. I think that looking out for these particular signs might help you. And so, stay tuned. So I'm in my gym wear right now. It's a day after work, and I found myself thinking a lot, and a lot recently actually. I don't know if it's in the stars, it's Mercury retrograde, and I find myself thinking a lot about relationships and dating. These are a couple of things that stood out to me, so I want to record a quick video before I head to the gym after work, and again, hopefully it helps you. So these are detailed things that I have noticed in my own experience and in the experience of others that are easy to overlook while we're looking for the more obvious things. Because everybody wants commitment, everybody wants honesty, everybody wants respect, but there are these little, really detailed, nuanced things that you can look for to see whether or not your partner might be healthy for you, or whether or not you should continue dating somebody, or even in the early stages where you can recognize a situation and get out before it's too late. It's never too late, but you can get out before it turns to shit. So the first one, which to me is one of the most, if not like probably like top 3 on this list of 10 things that I made. The first one is the ability to be accountable for their own shit. Like, can we please call a thing a thing? Like, let's be real. Somebody who is unable to see their own deficiencies will never change them. And somebody who doesn't realize that there's a problem with maybe their behavior, their thought process, or the way that they're choosing to go about things in a relationship will never take accountability for it. So it's really important for somebody to be able to take accountability for their shit. Too many people go into relationships blaming their issues on other people. And what that does is that it isolates your partner, it makes you into a victim, makes them into a villain, it affects their self-esteem. It's just a really unhealthy dynamic. Like, you're coming in, you have 50% of the relationship and you control 100% of that 50. So take accountability for it. Like, the way that you behave really has nothing to do with your partner. It is a choice you are making. It is so important to look for a partner that can take accountability for their shit. It is not anyone else's doing or fault for who they are, what they choose to do, what they choose to believe, how they choose to act, and what they choose to think. Got it? Good. Another one that I find really important is the ability to try new things. So that's number 2, is looking for a partner who has the ability to try new things. Even if you yourself might not be the most adventurous person, it is so important to have a partner who is open-minded enough to allow you the space to try new things, and also to invest the time in trying new things with you, because that's how you form partnerships. That's how you form a relationship, is you make memories together, you bond, you do things together. So it's so important to find a partner who's open-minded. And again, you might not be the most exciting person, they might not be the most exciting person to begin with, but as long as they have the intention to welcome a new thought into their life, a new adventure, a new project, a new idea, and they're not just instantly shooting it down, the open-mindedness is really what matters, then it's still it can be a relatively healthy relationship. So number 3 is somebody who knows what they want, but they're not rushing to get it. So there's a difference. You'll have some people who know what they want, and they are running after it, and they're like jumping at it, and like you meet them yesterday and they want to get married tomorrow. That's a red fucking flag. And then you have the opposite spectrum, that there are people who are like, I never want to get married, I don't believe in commitment, I don't know what I want. That shit's a red flag on its own. Fucking, I could do a whole video on that. But if you meet somebody who knows what they want, but they're not pushing for it, they're trying to see if it lands, they're trying to see if it works with you, that is sexy. Like, that is a partner who you can actually build at a reasonable pace with and not have to worry about them just trying to fill a hole within themselves, right? Because that's usually when you rush into something, you're trying to fill it. You're trying to fill the position in your life fast. That would not be the case with this person who's not trying to rush. Number 4, oh my God, another top 3 one. Okay, that was really confusing. So number 4 is a person who has the ability to hold space for your feelings. I've been there, I'm sure plenty of people have been there when you've dated somebody who instantly shoots down any feeling you have as wrong. It is like the most toxic thing, and to me it's like the biggest pet peeve in the world, and like the most toxic thing in the world. It's so important for your partner to be able to hold space for your feelings, space for the expression of your feelings, space for you to express what it is you need in that moment, what your thought process is, what's going on, without fears of being rejected or wrong. Oh my God, I love this next one, guys. Like, number 5 is the ability to apologize and not be a defensive ass bitch. Like, that's it. It's like self-explanatory. Somebody who has the ability to come to you and say, you know what, it's more important for me to compromise than it is for me to be right? So initially a defense mechanism that somebody might engage in, I mean, at that point they are just literally shelled up and protecting themselves, and it is so selfish when you're in a relationship to do that, instead of being like, you know what, I might not necessarily agree with you, I didn't mean to insult you, but I am sorry that my words hurt you, right? Like, that is super fucking mature. Like, I love this one. And like, I love people who have the emotional intelligence to do things like this. I mean, at that point, it's like, these are skills in relationships that people need to learn to hold a really healthy relationship. So yes, the ability to apologize before getting defensive or before getting judgmental. Oh my God, so important. Number 6 is when actions and words align. Love is a verb. All right, guys, so don't be falling for fucking words of what people say, like, watch what they do. And for me, a really big indicator whether or not someone's healthy, whether or not I want to continue dating somebody, is when their actions match and back up their words. At that point, they've earned my trust, right? I trust actions. I trust the things you do, not the things you say. And that's my personal thing. And I would say a lot of people would argue the same. So yes, words and actions align. So this one backs up the first one that we mentioned, which is that when someone does take accountability, they back it up with the initiative to change and to grow and to alter. And that's somebody that you can build with. You know that if there's something that they've identified that they take responsibility for, that they've done wrong, you know, and it's a form of trust too, that they're gonna follow it up with taking the initiative to actually make changes. That to me is, oh my God, everything on this list. Like, if you stacked all these things up in this list into like one human being, like, it would be, first of all, the most emotionally intelligent human being you've probably ever met, but such a healthy person. Like, yeah, give me a piece of that. Yeah. All right, next one's super important. We're almost at the end. They are able to discuss things with ease and kindness and calmness and a level of emotional intelligence instead of like jumping to 50. Okay, somebody who feels the need to get riled up and angry to argue their point doesn't have a lot of emotional intelligence. You don't need that to get your point across. You need firm boundaries, you need to know what you want, and you can be kind, and people respond to kindness, and so do your partners. Just because you're married or in a relationship or dating doesn't give somebody the right to be rude to you when they're trying to communicate with you. So that is absolutely a like number one indicator of someone's emotional maturity, is the way that they communicate whenever they're upset. Are they kind? Are they still patient? Are they using a proper tone of voice, or are they like condescending? Do they turn into fucking assholes? Like, let's be real. A lot of people don't know how to argue correctly or healthily in relationships. I mean, like, there's a lot behind it, I'm sure, but it's not your problem, my problem to deal with. People have to kind of grow up and mature and handle themselves appropriately. So Another one, oh my goodness, we're on number 9. Okay, so another one, and this is the second to last, is that they don't put expectations on how to feel loved and how to be loved. So they don't expect you to buy them flowers the instant you show up, and then they're disappointed that you didn't. Or they don't put expectations on maybe the amount of money that you spend on them or the things that you plan for them. I mean, there's just like a no expectations, kind of like a free feeling for how your love is welcomed by them. I think that's so healthy, so healthy. So it is important to know how you feel most loved and know your love language, and you can share that with your partner. But to have expectations of your partner to always be perfect and to perform in certain ways that dictate to you that you feel loved, that can get a little toxic, right? So you can know that your love language is words of affirmation, but if your partner buys you a fucking bag for Christmas instead of writing you a letter or something, like, it still should be welcome with appreciation and love, and like, I know that they love me, and you know, there's no expectation of like, oh man, I was hoping you'd be a little bit more creative. Like, that's a little toxic. So I think it's really important to keep that one in mind, is that when you are doing your absolute best to love someone and it's just not enough, they might not be the right person for you. And the last one, another little subtle one that you might miss out on, is when somebody in a relationship, in a strong relationship, they are not fragile. Meaning, it takes them a lot to just walk out, right? Within reason, because you don't want to stay in a relationship that's abusive or awful or whatever, but they work through things. They're willing to compromise. They're willing to work it out. That, to me, is an indicator that they are ready to give love and that they're not just there to receive it. They're ready to commit and to make something work with you. So that is a huge green flag, thumbs up. Like, please, if you have that as a quality, keep it and don't waste it on people who don't deserve it. All right, guys, so that was my list of 10 things that you should be on the lookout for that are a little subtle when you're dating or determining if somebody's healthy, determining if the relationship might be right for you. And I really hope that it opens your eyes to a couple of things maybe that you didn't think about before. And if you want to know more about me and follow some of my content, I am on Instagram under Molly Irizarry, my same name without any spaces or anything, so you can follow me there and take a look at my daily life. And I post a video here every week, so go ahead and subscribe if that's your thing. And I will see you next week, guys. I'm off to the gym. Peace.